As I already mentioned, hyperventilation is the strongest during the night. And the most dangerous time during the night is between 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning. Konstantin Buteyko called this period of time the death zone. Actually, he wasn't the one who came up with this term. It was created by Russian doctors, and because by Russian doctors who worked in hospitals, and they noticed that a lot of people die during this time, but they didn't know why. Konstantin Buteyko explained this phenomenon. He said that hyperventilation is the strongest during the night, but it's especially strong during those early morning hours. And usually hyperventilation hits the weakest organ and makes all symptoms stronger. So people die from different reasons, it could be from a heart attack or from kidney failure or whatever. There are endless reasons. But it's greatly, as Buteyko explained it, because hyperventilation is the strongest during that time, and whatever symptoms a person has, they become strongest during that time as well. So for people who are seriously ill, it's important to keep the awareness during those early hours. A lot of people with breathing difficulties have problems during that time. So for them, it's essential to know how to avoid them. Well, sleeping with the mouth being taped, sleeping in the right position, those some of the ways to prevent breathing difficulties in the morning. But also, please consider setting up an alarm clock, let's say at 3 o'clock, waking yourself up and doing breathing exercises for 15 minutes or half an hour. Normally it prevents some trouble. Konstantin Buteyko found out that one of the reasons for overbreathing or hyperventilation is sleeping too much. There is a very strong belief that people need 8 hours of sleep. Well, I could say that even my own experience now shows that it's not really true. One of the ways to reduce the nighttime hyperventilation is to stay closer to natural patterns of sleeping, meaning waking up earlier. As you already know, hyperventilation during the morning hours, especially between 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning, is the strongest. So if you could get up around 3 o'clock, it's wonderful. But if not, just try to get up as early as possible. Maybe 5 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock, but definitely not 10 or 11 or 12. So sleeping a little less than your body requires is very good for your breathing. So when you have enough time to rest, and yet you feel that you could sleep more, it's actually a good time to get up and become active. Do you know that time when you're kind of awake in the morning but still in bed? and you kind of don't want to get up. And if you let yourself sleep longer, you could easily sleep for another hour or two. But if you get up, you are totally okay and you don't feel like you need those extra hours of sleep. This is a really good time to get up and become active. So not sleeping too much and even sleeping a little bit less than you want is very, very good for your breathing and health. I also would like to mention that very comfortable bed is not the best for breathing. Unfortunately, in general, comfort is not good for breathing, and we will talk about it more. Comfort is one of the main reasons for hyperventilation. So anyway, sleeping on a hard surface is much more supportive for shallow breathing compared to sleeping on a very comfortable bed.